Greetings everyone, and welcome to my first review of a Japanese exclusive Tales title. The title in question for today's video will be Tales of Innocence for the Nintendo DS. Tales of Innocence is the first portable entry of the main line of Tales games. Well, good portable main entry of the Tales series. Tales of the Tempest, your day is coming. Tales of Innocence originally released in Japan for the Nintendo DS on December 6, 2007, and was originally developed by Alpha System, who you may remember developed Tales of the World Radiant Mythology. The game was well received by both critics and fans alike. Sadly, this game has not seen a worldwide release, and most likely will not receive one anytime soon. Luckily, Tales of Innocence has received a complete English fan translation by the absolutely awesome people at Absolute Zero. As such, the only way to play the game in English is through emulation or the use of a ROM cartridge. But is Tales of Innocence even worth all the fan efforts of translating it? Let's find out. The story of the game centers around the main protagonist, Ruka or Luca depending on your version, discovering his latent abilities. His having of these abilities divides him from society, who fear those with these sorts of powers. In reality, people like Ruka possess these powers because they are actually the reincarnations or avatars of ancient and powerful beings, some being gods. Ruka bands together with other avatars who end up traveling across the world to discover the mysteries of their past lives in order to save the present. Tales of Innocence's plot is actually pretty good and really engrossed me, although I don't think it's as well told as some of the other stories from previous games, as it does have some pacing issues here and there, but it has an interesting enough premise that will carry your interest throughout the game. This entire reincarnation dilemma actually leads to some very interesting character development as well. As characters discover more of their past lives, it brings into question who they truly are, as some of the avatars have conflicting traits or personalities with their past lives. Overall, as is the case of many Tales games, the characters are strong and engaging to watch interact with one another and are at the heart of the game's narrative. Iria and Spada were personally my favorite characters, as they share many interesting and often humorous skits with one another. Tales of Innocence contains the same core gameplay as past main entries of the series, while also adding some new elements, so you can expect to travel the overworld, go to town, and venture into dungeons, but side quests are now handled through each town's guild. Most towns' guilds will provide you with a couple of different quests you can perform in order to gain experience, grade, gald, and sometimes equipment and items. Sadly, there isn't a whole lot of variety, but they can be a nice break from the story and are an easy way to get more experience. What really separates Tales of Innocence gameplay from previous titles is its combat system, which takes the 3D movement of Tales of the Abyss and combines it with the nuances and various elements of the PlayStation 2 remake of Tales of Destiny, like using arts in midair. So the battle system as a whole is incredibly fast-paced as usual and is very fun to play. Although I felt the game was kinda easy. You can change the difficulty, so it's nitpicking, but worth mentioning. New to this game is also a style system, which basically is just a linear progression level up system. There are 3 styles to choose from, which change the stat upgrades when your characters level up. There are only 3, one that focuses on defense, another for attack, and the last one focuses on magic. You can also craft equipment with the focus on the styles, which grants certain abilities for your crafted weapons. So, for the most part, it's safe to say the core gameplay experience is similar to other past titles, particularly Tales of the Abyss. While that may sound a bit disappointing, but keep in mind this is all happening on the Nintendo DS, and a fully featured Tales game with little to no setbacks on a portable system is an impressive feat in itself. But, as you may have guessed, one of these setbacks is the visuals. While not bad by any means, especially on the DS, the 3D models are a little hard on the eyes. Having said that, the visuals are on par, if not a little better, than the other 3D RPGs on the system. Although, I do like how the background environments and the overworld map look. So for a 3D DS game, the graphics are pretty solid in comparison to other games on the system. Tales of Innocence features a lot of voice acting, which you may have guessed is in Japanese, so I can't really critique any of the actors' performances. The music on the other hand is good, but like other soundtracks of the series, isn't all that great. Aside from the intro cinematic music, nothing was all that memorable to me. The music does do its job, and it certainly sounds well composed, but I don't expect to be humming any songs from the soundtrack. So, in conclusion, Tales of Innocence is a fully fledged Tales game that transitioned to a portable platform with little to no problems. In comparison to other games of the series, this game feels a little safe, and it doesn't do anything to set itself apart from its peers, gameplay-wise. The story has an interesting enough premise, and is set up to see you to the end of the game. With all that said, I can safely recommend Tales of Innocence to anyone either new or familiar with the Tales series, as it shares all the franchise's strengths, like its fast-paced gameplay, likable characters, and just being a very enjoyable portable RPG. Although Tales of Innocence is good, I don't really think it does anything that makes it stand out from the rest of the series and gives it a must-play status. So, if you have a DS emulator, any knowledge of Japanese, or a ROM cart, you can easily play and enjoy this game. For those of you willing to import a copy, the game will cost around $30. Tales of Innocence also received a PlayStation Vita remake, which adds the regular variety of improvements seen in past ports or remakes of series titles. Well, that about wraps up things here. I hope you all enjoyed my first review of a Japanese exclusive Tales title, and that you may look forward to the other videos I'll be posting this month. As always, let me know your own personal thoughts of the game. This has been Darren of the Gaming Pilgrimage. Till next time.